Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
Let's get into it. We're going to be talking about Secret Empire number 10, the final issue of this epic event from Nick Spencer and Steve McNiven on art for this issue. Before we get started, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what happened in this issue.
Thank you.
Now, you might remember in the last issue, Captain America had a cosmic cube crammed into his chest and given a rip-off green-painted Iron Man suit for a final showdown against the superhero resistance. Well, now it's finally time to see all that come to fruition. We get a pylon that lasts about 2 panels before Steve will rewrites history and teases a bunch of series we're probably going to get when this series becomes so forgettable that everyone forgets just how disappointing it turned out to be. Sam Wilson becomes Captain America one last time to hatch a scheme with the Winter Soldier and Ant-Man to reassemble the cosmic cube so it can restore Kobik, you know, that sentient cosmic cube, to her former self and fix everything. Instead of doing that, she gives the former memories of the good Captain America a brand new body in an old familiar costume and lets him fight himself. We find out that hammer trick from earlier in the series was just that, and Steve reminds everyone what it means to be Captain America. Now, Kobik does restore the original Marvel chronology to its former self, but leaves Las Vegas demolished and Black Widow still dead as a reminder that some things can't be fixed with magic. You know, unless we wanted to. Characters that some people complain about disappear into comics that came out last month and come back to pose for a picture no one will take. It all wraps up with that random Inhuman that nobody cared about from issue 1, cementing the series in irrelevancy forever. What do you guys think of the art?
The art was cool.
Right?
Yeah, it was good. It's funny, like, I've been on board with Sorrentino's art this whole time. I mean, like, give or take, like, random moments where it seemed like they couldn't keep up with the workload, but, like, you know, like, action sequence-wise, I've always liked their art, especially, like, an Old Man Logan, that kind of thing. So, like, to not have it finished out like that, I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Right.
Right?
Although, McNiven did draw the original Old Man Logan.
Well, fine.
And the dreamscape, or whatever was inside the cube itself.
Yes.
Different art style.
Different art
there,
style,
and it
different
worked.
artist. And
Yeah.
that was, well, that was very
But
consistent.
that was done intentionally, everybody.
There were a couple of great iconic moments, or moments that called back to moments from previous Marvel chronology.
Mm-hmm.
There's that big full-page splash of everybody running or jumping at the screen. That's obviously an homage to Mike Zeck's first image from Secret Wars #1 from 1984.
Right.
There's a scene with Cap staring down Cap, which was homaging Cap staring down Thanos from Infinity Gauntlet.
Yes, that was very cool.
Very
and they
cool.
showed us that.
And that was very interesting that they deliberately showed you the panels from the old issue. That for me says like maybe they needed to fill in some space. I don't know.
I think if they were concerned, you wouldn't get it.
I mean, like, they definitely should be concerned about that, because while it is an iconic moment for us comic book fans, it might be lost on some folk who are kind of, like, jumping into this for the first time.
Yeah.
But that said, and it also homages Legacy and how they're trying to, like, bring back some of the old stuff.
I think it was also the idea that you have someone staring down basically this unbeatable foe.
Yes.
And that the person who always defied that was Captain America.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, the message was definitely solid in there.
But had that not been the case, I would have just been like, so Sam Wilson's just walking at Hydra Cap.
Yeah.
That's
just
all I
walking
thought.
at him. Right. But it was very apparent that it was that moment. And I like that a lot. But let's jump into the writing for this issue. This is Nick Spencer's kind of like swan song. I think he's got a little bit left, but then that's that. So what do you think?
Ben?
Well, the writing was pretty good. I was not a big fan of Kubik's voice. Or Kobik's voice.
Kobik, yeah.
I haven't been this entire time. No, I've only read
Like,
I've only read a couple of issues that we've done for Off the Rack.
Yeah.
I haven't been keeping up with it because I'm really hoping that we do an episode of back issues.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Even though now I know the ending.
Yeah.
But I don't like Kobik's voice. It's just bizarre to me. Every time I hear it, it's almost like this whiny, like, almost ethereal, like, oh, I can't do this thing.
You mean like Moonchild?
No, I was thinking more like the kids in Akira that are all old and grandpa-like.
Yeah, okay.
I get it. Like, there is a lot of, like power behind this issue, you know what I mean? Like, we got to this point where it was just, he figured out a way to make it so that no one could be mad at Captain America.
Right.
But you could still be mad at Captain America, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like, people can be pissed, but if they have, like, an actual rational conversation, they might be dissuaded from being angry.
Exactly. Like, at the end of the day, like, they make sure that Steve Rogers is put on...
He's preserved.
He's preserved to, like, the world.
Yes.
And, like, actual Steve.
Yeah,
Except that guy was also actual Steve.
It was actual Steve, but here's the thing, we brought him out, so now...
that's Hydra Steve.
Yeah, but he was original Steve.
I know, but what I was gonna say, though, honestly, is that, like, I originally had said this when we did the last issue, that I was worried that, at the end of the day, the journey for this book wouldn't have been worth
this
and not even
conclusion.
just worth it, but I feel like I was concerned that the way that he solved this at the end would make it just like it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, we really only needed parts of this. And I kind of feel like that, honestly.
But they destroyed Las Vegas, and she left it that way. Also, Rick Jones is still dead.
And so is Black Widow.
Yeah.
I get it. But we went on this journey with, like, hologram Tony Stark and the Champions and Miles Morales.
Yeah, he has a big arc that doesn't really get reflected in any of his books.
No, like, he makes the choice that it's not going to happen, but then they still have a showdown that's similar to that, and they never address it again.
Well, and he also is fine with killing Captain America.
Yeah, like, in that moment...
Right afterwards, yeah.
Yeah, like, in that moment, like, in past issue, he's totally okay with it, right? And then... seemingly, it's like, okay, good, he made it past it, but then they literally have another fight with him, and it's almost like it could still happen. We never talk about it.
Oh, it's not even, like, homaged, addressed, or referred to in any way. No. I mean, I definitely think that this whole thing, the whole story, could have been told in maybe 4 issues, and it would have been much more impactful.
Oh, yeah.
If everything that happened within the last 10 issues, or 11 or 12, depending on your 0 issues and your Omegas and Alphas... you could have had everything happen within those pages and still make it 4 issues.
Yeah.
And it would have been like, wow, every issue, something significant happens.
We enjoy quiet moments.
Oh, yeah, I like those.
But they have to be balanced, because otherwise it's just nothing but quiet moments. Well, it feels like, to me, Spencer wanted to write character reactions to this event. And, like, the event didn't necessarily need to happen within the pages of the book. Like, he just wanted to see how the characters would react to... the icon of Captain America
being corrupted. Yeah, and that's actually kind of the job of the tie-ins, to show you that. Like, if you want to see what Spider-Man Peter Parker or Spider-Man Miles Morales or any of the number of champions think about what happened with Cap, or how they're reacting to the Secret Empire and how it's infiltrated the world, that's for those books to do.
Yeah.
Yes, but if you don't include some of that, at least in the books, then you're getting a lot of people that want to read about those characters that aren't getting that. Well, why aren't they standing up, and why aren't they doing something about it?
No, it's true, but we had, since you didn't read that, we had issues of these teams breaking off, and they're going to do things, and they're doing this, and they're breaking into the here, and at the end of the day, none of it mattered.
No, they had to get all those cosmic cube shards.
At the end of the day, none of this mattered, except for the fact that now Black Widow is dead.
Yeah.
And I don't care about Rick Jones.
I hate tie-ins.
I got stuck in one because I read Doctor Strange, and like Doctor Strange for the past 3 to 4 issues has been a tie-in.
I'm sure Dennis Hopeless appreciates being...
It's a tie-in the entire time. And within that tie-in, nothing happens to Strange. It's only in the Secret Empire that something actually happens to him.
Yes.
So the tie-in was useless.
Yeah, the tie-in doesn't show you Stephen Strange's reaction to Secret Empire, or like the reflection of that.
He's dealing with things within Under the Dome, essentially, but it's really a story about Spider-Woman and the Kingpin.
Yeah. But what's funny is, some tie-ins are actually more important than what happens within the pages of Secret Empire. Like, in all the Captain America books, apparently, like, that's where the real story is.
It's true.
And it's like, hey, then make that the real story, and don't make this fluff.
No, it's true. Like, I don't read Captain America. I'm gonna put it out there. I don't read that book.
What? That's crazy!
But my understanding is there was an incredibly cool moment that happened.
Yeah.
With T'Challa.
Right.
Where
it's like, boy, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, where like he like calls Steve out for like essentially like let's take this outside, you and me.
Yeah,
like,
which would have been really cool,
awesome,
and would have been totally warranted in a Secret Empire book as opposed to just in the tie-ins. And by the way, if I don't read Captain America, then I missed that moment. And sure, I can go back and read it, but now I know what happens, and it kind of feels like it doesn't matter.
Right? It's funny because like at the end of the day, like I am really super interested, and I've said this before about like events, because like whenever they spread them out like this, like it's like, how will you collect this?
Yeah.
And, like, how will you collect this in particular? Because you're going to have Secret Empire, right? Cool, you're going to have all of those. But if Captain America, like, those issues are so important, are they going to include those within that trade?
No, that will be, like, Secret Empire Captain America. It'll be a separate trade that you have to buy for $35.
No, it's true. But it's funny, like, that might, in a way, make this a better read for some people.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, if it's Secret Empire, yeah. But even then, it's not within the pages.
No.
You know, so you'd have to read...
one book, and then the other.
You're reading Secret Empire, the trade, then you're like, oh, I gotta stop.
Yeah.
And it's not like there's going to be a cue that tells you, like, to stop here and then...
Cut to page this in that book.
Go over to... Yeah, exactly. They're not going to do that. That's crazy.
No, it's true.
So, you know...
So it's rough.
It's rough. This whole thing has just been mess. And there's one more issue left.
Yeah, the Omega.
The Omega issue.
No, it's over!
No, there needs to be a denouement. There needs to be a moment of reflection.
There's one more issue they're going to... And, like, maybe that'll be really good. Because, I mean, like, honestly, again, like, that's what I feel like he wanted to do. He wanted to write those reactions. He had a lot to say, honestly. And, like, at the end of the day, instead of it being about, like, a fall from grace, it ended up being about the triumph over that.
Yeah, over your own corruption by the bad guys.
Right, or the fact that, like, he will always be this pillar. And, like, even when he is a bad guy, it's like he's weirdly still inspirational based on his previous actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not even the fact that it's the man himself, but it's the message that he inspired.
Yeah.
I remember Civil War when they, like, character assassinated Tony Stark and made him into a villain.
Yeah.
And then ended the book with the audacity of having him be like, hooray, the end! And you're, like, supposed to want to follow Iron Man in his adventures. And yet, so ballsy that they changed Iron Man and made him do this thing. If you read Iron Man after that, and read any Marvel book, from Civil War all the way through Iron Man's redemption, it's an organic redemption, and it requires, like, actual character growth and change. Captain America's origin was changed by a bad guy, so he's tricked into thinking that he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
And then, ultimately, they don't even let him be redeemed. He always thinks that he's always been a bad guy, and then a duplicate of himself comes out of a cosmic cube and punches him in the face, and then puts him in jail. So it's like Captain America never... It's not like the message of Hydra is so toxic that you can be indoctrinated and brainwashed and believe this horrible thing, and the message being that, like, good people can be changed by lies. That's like a thing that you could, a teachable lesson. And it's not like the evil Steve Rogers or Steve Rogers corrupted realizes that it's a toxic message and that he rejects it, and the lesson is that, like, there is a inherent fallacy in Hydra's philosophy that can be whittled away through with reason and logic and truth. No, that's not there. And instead, like, bad guy Steve is bad guy Steve forever, and now he'll be that way forever because there's two Steve Rogers.
No, I know. I assume what Spencer was attempting to do, that his message was that at the end of the day, like, Captain America, Steve Rogers, not Captain America, Steve Rogers, at the end of the day, will always follow through with whatever he thinks is right.
Right.
And so the Hydra version of him truly believes through and through that he is on the good side of things.
That's horrible, because it means that, what if he's wrong? That means that, like, those who have a problem with, like, American ideologies, they're like, oh yeah, like, Captain America's a villain because he will never stop believing in the American ideal.
He can't change. I figured that Spencer's big message was the fact that once everyone was done with the fight and they all got, like, weirdly fixed by the cube, that everyone was still there except for Ironheart. She was gone.
She was gone. Interesting. She is still around, and she will be forever. But, like, yeah, well, they all go to the Vanishing Point.
Yeah, it's for generations, except for Jean Grey isn't there.
No, but she is in the full-page splash from the Secret Wars homage. So she's technically there. She's probably just behind one of the bigger characters.
She's little.
So, Secret Empire, number 10, should they buy it?
Number 10?
Yeah.
Well, if you've been reading it, yes. If you haven't, no.
Or yes, because there are... I'll say this much. For not reading a lot of Secret Empire, there were some cool things in this book, especially when Hydra Steve... I'm just going to call him Hydra Steve now.
Hydra Steve!
Hydra Steve!
Hydra Steve!
Sounds like he's a skier or something. Like a water skier.
Yeah.
So Hydra Steve is changing the world in his image, and you get that wonderful splash of, like, things being corrected and the weird, like...
Evil Fantastic Four?
Yeah, the Evil Fantastic Four and all those covers of books.
Oh, I guarantee you're going to see, like, tie-ins where they're going to do those later.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
I hope not.
I hope not, too.
I just liked the idea of it.
Yes. Like, but what if you
I don't want the story. I want the idea.
But I want your $12.
Yeah. So make something worth telling.
Here, this. You said you liked it.
I like the idea.
Well, maybe you'll like the execution.
I'd like a refund.
Oh, we don't give those.
Look, at the end of the day, he set out to do something. He worked really hard.
Who, Spencer or Captain America?
Both!
Captain America did not work hard.
Yeah.
Well, I
don't know, he looked...
Hydra Steve worked hard.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, Hydra Steve. No, well, Captain America also did, because that's Sam Wilson.
Oh, yes. Yeah, by the way, I love that Sam Wilson, Captain America, like, he rediscovers he is Captain America.
Yeah.
He will not be Captain America after this event's over.
Yeah, which is, like, I can't believe how they ended that, where they're just like, no.
No, he's Captain America.
Yeah, he's just like, this is yours, it's not mine right now.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I appreciate that, because, like, Steve Rogers is like, there's a lot for me to do. And, like, I need to be Steve Rogers right now, and you need to be Captain America.
And Steve Rogers, by the way, has been other identities.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, it's okay. He can be Nomad again, and it'd be kind of cool. As long as he didn't grow a ponytail or anything, it'd be fine. Yeah, no, but, like, that'd be great. Nope, he's going to be Captain America, and Mark Waid's going to write it.
Yeah, that I will. I don't know how they're gonna explain that. Maybe it'll be in the Omega issue.
Yes.
But like at the end of the day, Spencer set out to do something, and like he worked really hard at it. I can't deny.
You can't argue that. Yeah.
Like, he throughout Captain America for like the year prior to that or longer, he's been working towards this. He incorporated Civil War II. Like he figured, like you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He did a lot. I'm not saying that like I was in love with the entire series, but like I can appreciate that level of work, like, commitment, and just like stick-to-itness. You know.
At the end of the day, I feel bad for him because I know his like You're right, and I'm sorry that they took it away from you. Because it's obvious they did.
Because I feel like there are a lot of people out there who like this a lot.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people who really didn't care for it. But you have to, like, at the very least, like admit that he, like, the work that he put into it came from the heart. Like, he wasn't doing it because it was just an event.
No, he wasn't going through the motions. You could see Civil War 2 is a... What do you need me to do? Check.
Exactly.
It's out.
And, like, in a way, I want to support that because, like, that's how it should be. It should be something you want to tell. It should be something that they care about and they want to see through to the end. I just, again, I wish it was maybe a little tighter.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree. Well, there you have it, everybody. Let's get into recommendations for books that are coming out this week that we think you should pick up. This week, I have to recommend Superman number 30, written by Peter J. Tomasi with art by Doug Mahnke. It's Superman being corrupted by Parallax and then battling against Sinestro. And also, there's a story about him kind of like tying a community back together by saving their missing children or something. But it's really cool looking, and I'm looking forward to reading it.
Hey, so the book I'm recommending this week is Superman number 30. It's... Oh, he recommended it already. Shit. Well, I still recommend Superman number 30, which is good because it's everything he said.
Alright, so this week for me, Doom Patrol number 8 is coming out. You know I love that book, written by Gerard Way, with art by Nick Darrington. This is kind of the start of a new arc for this, so I'm super excited. I actually already read it, so I can tell you it's good. So I'm recommending it because I already know it. So go get that. And then from Image, I'm actually going to recommend a brand new book called Scales and Scoundrels. It's an action-adventure style book about a penniless adventurer who's going to go and find her way in the world. And she's got like a secret going on there. It's fantasy. There's dragons. I'm excited. I like that kind of thing. So yeah, go get that too. Oh, and by the way, did you guys hear that Superman number 30 is coming out? Wait, you did that? Oh.
Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys next week with an all-new episode of Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
Don't forget to keep on reading.